our fellow cleaning professionals. We know our industry does not get a lot of respect. We're so glad you're here. We make this free content for you. We understand the challenges of the industry. If you've gotten value out of this, please subscribe. And for those business owners you know, team members you know, share this podcast with them if you would. Let's get back to the doc. Joel, we're back, and I understand that we're talking dress code today.
We are going to talk about dress code.
Yeah, this can be pretty touchy.
It can be, but if you present it properly, it's not going to be an issue. Plus, a lot of reasons why dress codes exist are for safety reasons, particularly in the cleaning world.
Oh, really? Okay.
One of the things that we require in our business, and years ago I had worked for a company, in the summertime they allowed their people to wear shorts. Well, a gentleman got injured. Basically, he got micro abrasions on his legs because he was wearing shorts.
Okay, so you're going to have to draw a picture for me on this one. I don't understand how that happens.
Walking trash out to a dumpster that has those tinfoil tins from a lunch gathering.
Okay.
And they poke through the bag, and as you walk, usually things are close to you. So we had all these micro abrasions.
So he's schlepping them out to the dumpsters.
He's schlepping them out to the dumpster.
Okay.
And he ends up with all these micro cuts on his legs, and, you know, he has all of these wounds that opened up bleeding. As I've started my own company, part of my dress code is, I don't care how hot it is, we wear long pants because you just don't know what's going to happen. Some of the industries that we work in, some factories, there's very hot areas that have, you know, molten metal pieces and metal shards being grinded off things and stuff. And I'm not saying that, you know, long pants are going to stop everything, but at least when you have long pants, it reduces the chance for injury. So that's one of the things, you know, in regards to dress code.
Okay.
The same, sometimes they'll tell you can't wear long sleeve shirts. Again, it may be cold outside, but if you're working around machinery and they should have guards, but sometimes guards don't get put up properly, they break and all that. And not that, again, that is our issue in regards to having to do that.
But the safety of your team is.
The safety of my team. So you don't want something that could get caught and you get pulled into a machine. So sometimes we tell people they have to wear short sleeve shirts. Well, that could pose a bigger problem too, depending on if there's somebody who maybe has tattoos. Now, I have tattoos, but I make sure that my tattoos are covered. So maybe that's not the right spot for the individual. But in addition, certain tattoos can be offensive. They could be, you know, if you're working in a school, you don't want to have pictures of naked people or curse words or whatever like that, because it would be inappropriate. So a person that works at a site like that might be required that we have everybody wear long sleeves if they have tattoos. And it's not saying that they can't have them. It's thinking about our clients. I once had a guy that worked for me many years ago at another company that had multiple earrings. You can limit the number of facial piercings or earrings that you can have a person.
Really? I wasn't aware of that. Okay.
Well, the New York Yankees don't allow any of their players to have facial hair. They got to shave.
So it's whatever the working agreement is.
Whatever the working agreement is. But a lot of dress code, if you don't have uniform shirts, you want to make sure that you don't have people coming in with any t-shirts that have any type of print on them. Concert t-shirts or, you know, sports teams, religious themes, anything like that. You just tell them to wear a solid color t-shirt.
Well, I mean, and of course, in your case, you supply Doc's branded apparel for your team to wear. So, I mean, that helps you look like a team. Those are your jerseys, effectively.
Correct. And that's how we present it to our staff, is that we're like a professional sports team, and we have a uniform that has to be worn, and it does have our logo and stuff, but that's the approved logo. If a startup company doesn't have a uniform code or a set uniform that they're having go out into the field, they may want to tell somebody just to have a plain t-shirt as opposed to something that could be seen as being offensive to certain individuals.
Okay. I can also see, Joel, where this might pose a little bit of a challenge for the HR side of your business. Any final advice around that as we're talking to cleaning company owners and they're looking for an effective and respectful manner to address staff?
That is a very good question. It is very much an HR issue. It can be very touchy. The best thing you can do is, if you don't have a true HR person with all of the credentials behind their name, I've gone outside the company and hired an outside consultant called CHR and Recruiting. The C is SEE. By hiring Herman and his team, we've been able to have our handbooks adopted to what our requirements are. In addition, we have pictures of what's appropriate, where the pants need to be. and that the belt's supposed to be above the hips, not below the hips, and everything. So it's clearly defined of the expectation levels of what our employees are supposed to look like out in the field. Those are set right from the get-go before we walk out the door. So if we have a manager meet up with one of our staff that is not to the dress code, they know, they've signed off on it, they know what the pictures look like in the office. There is no question whatsoever.
So in that regard, appropriate has more to do with your working environment and has really nothing to do with the individual.
Correct.
Got it. Great advice to keep owners out of the weeds. Thank you, Joel.
You're welcome.